This is Learn English with Ease.
English made powerful, simple, and yours.
Hey there. Welcome back to Learn English with Ease. Or if you're new here, I'm really glad you're tuning in today. Because what we're about to talk about, it's something millions of people around the world experience every single day. But they don't always have the words for it. You learn English, you study for years, you understand movies, you follow YouTube tutorials, you can read articles, messages, subtitles, and it all makes sense. But then, someone asks you a simple question in real life like, where are you from? Or what do you do? And suddenly, your brain goes blank. You know the words. You've said them before. But in that moment, it's like your voice disappears. And that's when the self-doubt creeps in, right? You start thinking, why is this happening to me? I understand so much, but I sound like a beginner. I'm embarrassed. I feel stuck. Maybe I'm just not good at speaking. But here's the truth. The thing no one tells you. You're not broken. You're not bad at English. And you're definitely not alone. What you're experiencing is actually a very common and very fixable block. And today we're going to unpack it. Not just the language side of it, but the emotional and mental side too. Because fluency isn't just about what you know, it's about what your nervous system feels safe to express.
Jack, you're already going deep, and I love it. Because this is something I hear from learners all the time. They say, Emma, I can understand everything in English. I can even think in English. But when I open my mouth, I freeze, or I speak so slowly, or I feel stupid. And it hurts my heart, because I know they're not stupid. In fact, they're usually brilliant. They've learned English for years. They've passed tests. They've read entire novels. But when it comes to speaking, something inside of them shuts down. And do you know what I think it is, Jack? It's fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of sounding weird. Fear of not being good enough. And that fear doesn't live in your grammar book. It lives in your nervous system. So even if you know what to say, your body doesn't feel safe saying it.
Yes, and that's the disconnect. Most people think fluency is just about vocabulary and grammar, but think about this. If you've ever felt nervous before a job interview, or on a first date, or when you had to speak in front of a group, you know what happens. Your hands sweat, your heart races, your mind starts running in circles, and suddenly, you forget what you were going to say. Now imagine trying to speak in a foreign language on top of that. It's no wonder so many people feel blocked. So let's get one thing clear. Fluency is emotional. It's not just about how many words you know. It's about how safe you feel using those words in front of other people. And if you've ever felt embarrassed or corrected or laughed at, your brain remembers that. It stores it as danger. So even years later, you might find yourself avoiding conversations, not because you can't speak, but because your brain is trying to protect you from feeling that shame again.
That's so real, Jack. And honestly, I felt it myself. When I was learning Spanish, I could understand everything people said. I could follow jokes. I knew the vocabulary. But whenever I had to speak, especially to native speakers, I felt like a child. I would say things so slowly. I would overthink every sentence. And sometimes I'd just stop talking altogether. And do you know what made the biggest difference for me? Kindness. When someone listened to me without interrupting, without correcting me mid-sentence, when someone just looked at me and said, "Take your time, I understand," I started to relax. And when I relaxed, my words came more easily. So if you're listening to this and you've been blaming yourself for not speaking better, I want you to stop. It's not your fault. You're not lazy. You don't need to study harder. You need to feel safer. You need to feel supported. You need to feel seen, not judged. Because when your brain feels calm, your voice comes back.
Exactly. And let's talk about what you can actually do to change this. Because here's the good news. You can retrain your brain. You can move from silence to expression. And it doesn't start with more grammar exercises. It starts with your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself when you make a mistake. The way you encourage yourself when you feel blocked. The way you choose to stay kind even when your sentence isn't perfect. Try this. Next time you get stuck in English, instead of saying, "Ugh, I'm terrible," say, "I'm learning." Say, "That was hard, but I tried." Say, "It's okay to pause. I'll finish the sentence in a moment." This might sound simple, but it's not. It's powerful. Because your inner voice is the first language you speak. And if that language is harsh, you'll stay silent. But if that voice is loving, your words will find their way out.
You know, Jack, one thing that really helped my students, and me honestly, was giving ourselves permission to sound like beginners. We all want to sound fluent, fast, clear, but that comes later. First, we have to sound real. And sometimes, real means slow. Real means pausing. Real means searching for words. But guess what? That's how humans speak, even in their native languages. So please, if you're listening to this and thinking, I sound dumb when I speak English, I need you to know, you don't sound dumb. You sound brave. You sound like someone who's learning. And that is beautiful, so take the pressure off. You don't have to perform. You don't have to impress. You just have to express. Even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's slow. Because every time you speak, you're rewiring your brain to trust itself again.
And we'll be right here with you every step of the way. Because Learn English with Ease isn't just a channel, it's a community where your voice matters.
That's right. So don't give up, keep showing up, keep speaking, because fluency is not just a skill, it's your freedom.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope this episode helped you see the emotional side of fluency in a new light.
If you liked this conversation, please subscribe and share with your friends, and comment below, what's one small step you'll take today to speak English with more kindness and courage?
Until next time, speak easy and speak freely.